Hello, I'm Kyle. Welcome to the Storybook Test Bootcamp. This is week 7, where we'll be talking about visual tests. So if you're not aware, the Storybook Test Bootcamp is this program that we have going on to help people learn how to set up and use our new Storybook test features in their projects, which is a way to run component tests, accessibility tests, visual tests, like I'll show you this week. Lots of different types of front-end tests, and you can run it directly inside a Storybook as well as in your CI. And so this is kind of the guide we have here for you, and you can see on our schedule, we've gone through weeks 1 through 6, and now we are ready to talk about visual tests. So let's do that. So first, visual tests are the most efficient way to test your components. And what I mean by efficient is if you imagine that you have a UI component and you want to validate how it looks. You might do something like, I expect this button to have this class name, or I expect this button to be this color and apply this style, or maybe I expect this button to display this icon this many pixels away from the border. All of those things take very specific assertions that you would have to manually write in your test and maintain as they change. With a visual test, you literally just take a screenshot. You don't have to write any code. It's just all automated. And then that screenshot is compared against a new screenshot whenever you make a code change. And then you either say, yes, I expect that change, or no, I did not, and I need to go fix my code so that it doesn't change. And that's basically all a visual test is, and why it's most efficient is because you get basically unlimited assertions, millions of assertions, without actually writing any code whatsoever. So in Storybook, the visual tests are powered by a service called Chromatic. Chromatic and Storybook are kind of co-maintainers, where a lot of the Storybook primary maintainer team works here at Chromatic, and we have built a pretty tight integration so they can work well together. And so to install, you just run the Storybook add command with the package name here, Chromatic COM Storybook. And when you do that, it's going to run a script that will register the add-on and configure it for you. And so the registering just looks like this. It adds that entry to my add-ons array in my Storybook main config. And then you're going to see a visual test add-on panel at that point. And if you open it on any story, it'll ask you to sign into Chromatic, and do that even if you don't have an account, and then you can create an account there. An account is totally free, and we give you 5,000 snapshots each month to play with. So yeah, I encourage you to play around with it on a personal project. And then once you've created in your account, you'll see this menu here to choose from your possible accounts and then either create a new project like here, or if I already had some repositories set up that were linked to Chromatic, I would see options to link it to my Storybook right there. Once we're done, we do see this project linked message, and then we can actually use the thing. So what does that look like? So I've got a Storybook here. This is the same one I've been using for the whole bootcamp guide, and it's basically just taking some shadcn UI components and throwing them in Storybook so I can show off Storybook test. Because it's a solid set of components to test on. And under my visual tests add-on panel here, I've actually already run a build for all of these snapshots, so I have screenshots available for all of my components. And so right now it looks like that, which matches the way it looks now. But I'm going to go make a code change. So I'm going to change it from outline to default, and then just to make it really obvious, I'm going to get rid of these classes here. When I save, all right, so you can see that I changed these two navigation buttons up here. The visual test add-on is telling me that it's detected some code edits, and so I should run some new tests, which I can do from this button here. Or if I don't have this panel open and I know I need to rerun, I can also expand the testing module, and it says test results are outdated, and so I can run them right there. So I'm going to click that button there. That's going to kick off. You can see it over here in my terminal. It's going to run Chromatic kind of in the background, which first builds the Storybook, and then it uploads it to the cloud, and then it does some verification steps, and then finally it'll take the snapshots. And the reason why it's going to the cloud is One, so there's a consistent environment to take those snapshots. So there's no differences between the local devs and your CI or anything like that. It's always Chromatic Cloud, super consistent, super fast, because it's dedicated to this purpose. And then it also, it's kind of like local dev on superpowers, because see here down here where it says 320 pixels in Chrome, I can take snapshots of multiple viewports and multiple browsers all at once using the cloud, instead of like in my browser, for example, like opening up a bunch of tabs or resizing my window or whatever I would have to do there. So you can do it all at once with one command that way. All right, so my tests have finished, and it's now showing me, instead of the snapshot, it's showing me what we call the diff. And you can see the changes highlighted in bright green there. I can turn that off if I want, and I can switch between, so there's my baseline, there's what it did look like, and here's what it looks like in the new one. And in this case, I wanted to make that change. I want those buttons to be nice and bold like that. And so when I click accept, that latest snapshot just became the baseline now. And now any changes made further will be compared against that one. And this is all uploading to the cloud. And so it works across your team with any collaborators. You're all working off of the same baselines that way. And if you're already using Chromatic, but not yet using the Visual Test add-on, it also integrates totally with the existing web app and all of your existing workflows. And in fact, in the guide here, so we just ran the visual tests, we reviewed our changes. So you can hook it up to automate with CI. For example, you can write a GitHub action or GitHub workflow. We actually have an action that we publish right here that just makes it super easy. You just have to use that action and provide your project token. And then everything that you just saw will happen in CI, and then you can do the review in the Chromatic web app if you prefer that. But honestly, this Storybook workflow is pretty slick to be able to do all of it locally and not have to go to another website. Once it is in CI though, you'll get your PR checks and like all the Chromatic workflow that you might be used to. So that's basically it. It's pretty quick because we've automated almost all of it. Yeah, just know that it is built into Storybook, and it is a really powerful tool to have at your disposal. Have a great week.